Well, hello again. We've been out getting dirty, been out getting muddy again on the green lanes. Just look at the state of it. Oh well. Yeah, never mind. We've had a new member join us, and I've been out to show Arthur, the new boy, a couple of... Anyway, enough of that. Back to job in hand. Episode 3, Spain and Portugal. Ooh, it's Portugal wasn't good to me. Really wasn't good to me weather-wise. Problems here, problems there. This one, this is as much as we could find, or as much as we could use, of the Douro Valley. I think the best bit was yet to come, but the heavens opened, and I just lost my sense of humour, to be honest, and thought, no. We'll head south down to the Serra d'Estrela, which, as it turned out, wasn't all that good anyway, but suffice to say, it was better when we got to Spain a couple of days later. But this is what this one's all about, and it's a run across from the very cold and lonely guest house, and across through one or two points of interest, touching very marginally, if you like, the ACT, the Adventure Country Tracks system that runs down through Portugal. I just wasn't confident, fully laden on my own, on lanes I didn't know. I really wasn't confident when I got to doing it, so I touched it very briefly, but nothing much really. But really nice viewpoints, really nice viewpoints on the way across, and it's worth putting the video out for those really. So yeah, have a look, see what you think, as usual. All the obvious, you know, give us a thumbs up if you would, and subscribe, and tell me what you think. Make a comment, you know. So anyway, see what you think. Cheers. Well, good morning, folks. Not sure this is going to be the third episode, or I think probably yes, the third episode. We're leaving. Well, it's not a hotel. It's not a guest house. There's no host. I was the only person in the entire building. Strange, but I wasn't happy. There's no hot water. Couldn't have a shower. The place was no heating. It was like trying to sleep in a fridge. Suffice to say, words will be exchanged, so we'll see what happens. But either way, we're making our way across to join the Douro Valley today. It is a Village de Brachiosa. It's a very pretty village, but that's about all it's got going for it, to be honest, is its prettiness. But there's no, I mean, the cafe that's supposed to be there isn't there. It doesn't open. It's mid-October, so you can't expect miracles, can you? But it would be nice. It would be nice to have somewhere to go. I mean, I went into the next village across. Well, not the next village, but a sizable village. Sendham. I found a couple of cafes. I found a supermarket. I got myself Dr. Oetker's Hawaiian pizza, because I got the use of the. At least there was that. I got the use of the kitchen. You know, there was no kettle. I either boil a pan of water or put a cup of water, mug of water in the microwave. Hey dear, never mind. And a tin of sardines for breakfast this morning. That was nice.
I could eat them with impunity. Oh, I think those are pears on that tree. I could eat them with impunity out here because if I open a tin of them at home, Mrs. Moreland-biker turns bilious. So nice memorial. But we're making our way across. I'm going to switch off in a minute because I've got just a few miles to do to get somewhere interesting. I watched a few videos on the ACT Portugal, which is the Adventure Country Tracks organisation set up by Touratech. In actual fact, I've joined the organisation, so I've got the map in. Well, I've supposedly got the map in, but I'm not proposing to take on any serious off-road stuff on my own, particularly as it's an area I don't really know. I've got to be a little bit wise when it comes to these things, but either way, we're going across to tiny settlement. Even if it is a settlement, I'm not sure, of Algosso. There's a castle somewhere near to Algosso that's actually on the ACT. I suppose the ACT Portugal, it's the ACT has spread to all sorts of different countries now. It's not come to Britain yet, but I suppose it's a little bit like the TET, the Trans-European Trail in a way, but a little milder. There are one or two little side lanes that are a tad harder, a tad more technical, but like I say, I'm not interested in that because I just don't think it's very wise. But anyway, let's see where we get to. I'll switch off for now and I'll see you in a bit. Well, I've just spotted my first objective. Oh, welcome back, by the way. First objective of the day. I've got a funny feeling the track we're running alongside us here is part of the ACT, from what I remember of the videos I've watched. Either way, we're coming to the Castel de Algosso. Some beautiful wide open views from on this ridge. This is a bigger road than I expected it to be honest, but I'm not complaining. The N219. This weather, I don't know. This weather is supposed to be light rain showers. You can see it's a bit cloudy, admittedly, but I don't know about rain showers. I can see the castle up there, but just hoping I can get to it. Shame if I can't. This is Algosso. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it correctly. This is the village of Algosso itself, and the castle is up on the top of the rocky bluff just beyond it, in front of us. So I'm fairly sure you can get to it with a bike. Oh, that's beautiful. These rural villages really are something to behold. Castello, that'll do for me. Yes dear, Sally's telling me I've reached my destination. Not yet, I haven't. She doesn't know that. Oh, this is beautiful. Sometimes I really do have to pinch myself that I'm in a position to do this. Wow. Just look at that view. Looking over towards the main objective, which is the Douro Valley, out in the distance, over to the right there. But I've given myself all day to do it. And there's the castle. Flipping marvellous. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Oh, what a view. Fantastic. Wow. Here we are at the Castel di Algosso, or Algosso, and then got the next nearby chapel to it, and then I've got this fantastic view past the olive trees, out over the valleys, and the far valley right in the distance. That's got to be the Douro Valley, which is what I'm going to be following. Just fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Just look at that. Just look at that. Look. What? I suppose the camera doesn't show its depth, the depth of the valley, but oh, that was tremendous. Back down through Algosso anyway. Algosso, who knows? Somebody does, obviously, but I don't. I'll leave the camera running for the descent into the village because it's just so nice, you know. Now I enjoy riding the mountains, but I could ride through these sort of surroundings all day long. Well, the fact is I'm going to be doing today, to be honest, but oh look, it's just right. That's it for now. I'll switch off for a few minutes, try and save my memory card. I'll switch back on again because I spotted a little road on the map. It's I've got to stop looking for these little roads because I've got things to do today, and this is all getting in the way, to be honest. But couldn't resist this one because I'm fairly sure this is part of the ACT that I keep bumping my gums about. Apparently the ACT is made up of 40% of tarmac road, so you know I might be riding it. That's nice. Cobbles, We do like cobbles. I might be riding part of the ACT without actually realising it, but either way, it's a nice little exercise, nice little adventure. Various various all these beautiful red roofs. And we're back. Coming through the village of Carvichase, and I've just seen this on the right hand side, and I know there's one person who watches my videos who might find this interesting. I mean, you look at this building on the right here now, it's a railway station, it's a station building. There's the platform, you can see the line of where the line used to go on the far side of it. Yeah. People who watch my channel probably realise that I'm a little bit of a railway buff, you know, a railway history, and it's always good to see. You see the track bed over there on the right, it's a nice looking walkway these days over on the right. Carvichase, this village. I can't keep the camera running for the entire trip across through the Douro Valley. I've not come to the Douro Valley yet, to be honest. But in between the villages, the riding, it's absolutely sublime. I've not, between the villages, I've not met any traffic at all. I've not been overtaken, I've not caught up with anybody. It's just amazing. I don't want to say too much, but yes, I've had a couple of light rain showers, but that's all, and very, very light showers at that. I put my waterproofs on this morning just in case, you know, being a good Boy Scout, be prepared. This is all the railway track on the right here still. I'll switch off again now, and I'll see you a little bit down the road. Well, you rejoin me in Moncorvo. I put in the Torre de Moncorvo. And it's really quite pretty. I'm just going to turn around and go back down to the main square. This is the old part of Moncorvo. Just filled up with petrol in the more modern town, but it's not as pretty as this, because what I'd put in was the Torre de Moncorvo. But it's really quite pleasant. A really nice little square. I think siesta time has started. Yeah, definitely the old town this is. Right, I'll switch off, I'll put in my next destination, next bit of navigating, and I'll see you in a bit. Well, I've landed on the this fabled N222 road, and we've got a mixture now. We've got olives up in front of us, but we've also got vines. Now there's going to be vines, there's going to be vineyards somewhere not too far away that are growing grapes for the production of port, because the River Douro, which is effectively what we can't see it yet, but we're effectively following the Douro towards the sea, and where it meets the sea is the city of Porto, and there's a lot of, well, this is where port comes from, obviously. But it's another beautifully sublime road to ride. One or two clouds knocking about, but we got dry roads at the minute, so that's something to be grateful for. And nice windy roads as well. Whatever the grapes are for, there's a lot being produced in this area. And different grapes as well. Just looking at the vines. Black grapes, yeah. I'm only guessing really, but it's got to be a strong possibility that's for the production port. I mean, this road it has a reputation as being very much a rider's road, and yeah, it's a well-deserved reputation. The N222. Been looking forward to riding this road for quite some time now. Okay, I'm going to switch off for now, and you can rejoin me when we hit the river. Well, we're not going to hit the river, you know what I mean, hit the riverside, I should say. We'll switch back on. The river's down below us. The reason I've switched on though is because I don't know how long I'm going to be able to keep the camera on the front of my helmet, because it's getting a bit threatening. I don't, like I said before, I don't want to drown the camera. But I mean, just look at this valley. This is all grape production down here. I've seen pickup trucks with steel tubs on the back, absolutely chock full of black grapes. Very, very productive area, obviously. But anyway, onwards, and I'll keep the camera on as long as I can, but it does feel a bit threatening, to be brutally honest. It has rained here while we're riding through at some point in the not too distant past. Only talking minutes. The road's a bit just a bit greasy in places, so yeah, just see how it goes. That was a Mirador Estevio who we just stopped at. Mirador being a viewpoint, just the same as in Spain. This type of riding it's just been, since we got onto the N222, it's been absolutely non-stop, apart from going through the villages. It's just, shall we just say, for the technically minded, we don't I'm not wearing the centre of my tyre very much. Alto Douro Venatiero. I don't know, vine territory. Yeah, that's the Douro River down below us on the right. Very nice looking bridge across it, but I don't think we'll be, I don't know though. I doubt it. I do like my bridges, as you know. Bridges, lighthouses, railways, all sorts of civil engineering, I suppose. It's very contrasting. I'm guessing because I've only read about the areas I'm riding through, but I'm thinking that today's ride through the Douro Valley is a direct contrast to what is probably going to be the day after tomorrow in the Serra da Estrela, because that is very, very much mountainous roads, which is the reason I don't want to be taking that on if it's guaranteed to be raining, you know. So we do what we can. I mean, the upshot of it is, whatever happens over the next 2 days, I have got to head across east to Almeria, and that could well take me 3 days. I don't want to do it in 2 big stages, particularly if I can stay off the motorways and make it a more pleasant journey. The other thing about the filming is that it's a lovely looking village over the way. I don't want to run out of memory card. Having said that, I mean, this trip I've invested in 256 gigabyte memory cards, so that should hold a phenomenal amount of footage. It's a beautiful village. I don't have time. I know last year I took 1 or 2 detours and just have a look at villages that look to... Oh, they're collecting the grapes. Yeah. I wonder if the fact that they're collecting the grapes and prepared to go out and collect the grapes means that the rain's not going to come to much. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, I mean, just talking about the filming again, I know a lot of guys go out specifically to create video footage for their channels. I don't necessarily put myself in that bracket, although I do enjoy recording my travels and passing them on to other people. But I'm only a small-time creator, shall we say, and it is very, very much secondary to my motorcycling. With me, if I can create some video alongside my enjoyment of my riding, and that's a bonus, obviously, but it's not the be-all and end-all for me. My primary interest is just riding the bike in beautiful places, which I'm succeeding to do just lately. So yeah, just try and represent where I've been as much as I can, as much as is practical, shall we say. This is a lovely village. The way the vineyards are laid out over on the far side of the valley across there, it's very, very organised, obviously. Very, very absorbing riding this is. Very absorbing. It's almost as if the more concentration you give it, the more enjoyment you get out of it. Sandeman Port. Now there's a sign up there, Sandeman. Now that's got to be a port vineyard, I'm sure. Sandeman's Port. This is the Douro. So that's just a little inlet, a little tributary on the left. Obviously the Douro is a navigable river. I don't know if it's commercially navigable or whether it's just leisure craft. That's obviously a bit of a gin palace down there on the right. Or it might be a little tour boat that's passengers sat on the foredeck. Foredeck. I'm a sailor. Ferreira. I wonder what that company makes. Ferreira. I'll have to have a look. May well be port. 14 miles to my lunch stop, at which point I will have to decide whether I want to carry on and ride the N222 in its entirety, or whether I want to bug out, so to speak, and head south to Guarda for my overnight tonight and tomorrow night. Depends on the weather, I think. And how much my backside and how much my backside's aching. Hey dear. Problems of aging. I certainly couldn't do an iron butt. Not anymore. This looks like a commercial boat coming up towards us down on the right. I don't know though, no, that's a trip boat. It's a lovely design, it's like a gondola, almost. Yeah. It's lovely, what's a nice, this is obviously where the trip boats kick off from. Just here the coaches parked up, give it away. Just like when I used to drop my people off on Loch Ness to join the tour boats on the loch, and I'd drop them off at one end of the loch and, well, part way down the loch, and pick them up at the other end at Fort Augustus, or sometimes the other way around. Right, the rain is coming down, and it's certainly not what you call a light shower. This isn't. So for the moment I'm going to not call it a day exactly, but call it quits with the camera, and I will thank you for watching up to now. If it clears up and I get the camera back on again, so be it, but otherwise thanks for joining me in the Douro Valley. One or two other little bits, and I'll see you in the next one. Well, I saw this brown sign down on the main road, so I thought I'm going to have a look, and I've got to capture this because it's taken us up to a mirador, a viewpoint, and just to ride up to it is, well, it's a bit special. There's a brief break in the rain, so I've taken the chance to put the camera back on again and take a ride up these cobbles. Just see how far up it goes and how good the view is when we get there. And I rather think it's going to be a fairly good one, to be honest. Like I say, it's just a break in the rain. We're on our way to Guarda, effectively, which is about, I don't know, 3/4 an hour away now. Not too far. No, it's about an hour away, I think. Yeah. I think the viewpoint is down to the right. The mirador. Oh, I don't know though. Looks a bit special from up here, doesn't it? That's tremendous. This is the parking zone. It just keeps coming. Just keeps coming. Well, isn't this lovely? Bit of a transmitter there, admittedly, but really nice chapel. Don't want to go any further. Get a better view on the way back down. Let's just have a quick look up here. Really nice. It's obviously a bit of a special place with a bit of a special view. Oh, just look at that. Just look at that. A balcony with a view. Right, there's another squall coming in, so we'll leave it at that. That's an hour to Guarda, so I'll see when we get there.
Well, you better have a grand tour of my room at the Casa de Sé. Bit of a mess. I slept here last night, but it's oldie worldy. Apart from the flat back wardrobe, shutters, bit of heating, different to the one before, and ensuite bathroom, well, shower, bidet, no. So yeah, for less than 20 quid a night. Do me. Well, Portugal at the minute is a bit of a damp squib. Nothing happening today. But here in Guarda, a lot of history to it. A a lot of history to it. It's the highest city in Portugal. When I arrived yesterday, the road seemed to be taking me away from what looked to be the city, which is the modern city down below. And I thought, where's it taking us? And when it brought me here, wow, it really is the original part of the city. And in the middle of the shot at the minute, that's the guest house, Casa del Sé. That's where I'm staying. Every other frontage around here is a cafe, so no shortage of breakfast. One chance tomorrow morning. It's got one chance to sort itself out, and if it doesn't, I'm heading for the sun. See what happens.